Hey, what is up guys? This is Motech Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the Razer Basilisk V3. This is the third wired installment in the Basilisk series, and here Razer takes some of the features that we see on the more expensive model, the Basilisk Ultimate, and implements it with some tweaks and improvements. I have a link down in the description for this specific mouse if you want to check it out after this review. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first of all, let's talk about the shape. The Basilisk V3 still has that same right-handed ergonomic design as its predecessors, and I think it looks absolutely awesome. This design works great for players who use a palm grip because it's big and comfortable, and it comes with a dedicated thumb rest area. Now you could try to claw it, but I couldn't comfortably do that. This design is just going to work best with the palm grip. So the Basilisk V3 weighs in at around 125 grams with the cable. Now this is the first thing that hit me when I first started using it. It's so much heavier than my main mouse, which is the Logitech Pro Superlight. But to be fair, the Basilisk is a different category of mouse that is geared towards more buttons and a right-handed ergonomic design, so I expected it to be heavier. Alright, now on to build quality, which is absolutely fantastic here. The shell is really solid with no creaking anywhere. The body is going to be made of this grainy textured plastic that is mostly finished in matte black. You do have a couple of lines in gloss black to contrast it, and I really like this look. It looks pretty cool. The sides are made of a grippy rubber to help you keep a solid grip on the mouse during long gaming sessions. The wire is one of Razer's awesome paracord style cables. I love this braiding and the work that Razer does here. It makes the wire feel very light and flexible, which translates into it almost disappearing in my mind during use. The feet used here have been updated to 100% PTFE feet, so you'll get a really nice and smooth glide from this mouse over any mousepad. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to drop a like on this video, and if you haven't yet, then subscribe to the channel with the bell notifications on, because that's the best way to support the channel as well as keep up with the video content. Now, let's get back to the review. Now the Basilisk mice always have the most features out of any other mouse in the Razer product line. So let's check out some of the main features you can find on the Razer Basilisk V3. Starting off with the scroll wheel. Now I know this is kind of a weird feature to start with, but Razer has put a lot of emphasis and work into the scroll wheel. It has what Razer calls a Hyperscroll tilt wheel. So when you first take it out of the box, the scroll wheel is going to be in tactile mode by default. In this mode, it's going to be like any other gaming mouse, where you have a bump feeling between each scroll. This is great for gaming. But through the Razer Synapse software, you can put it in free scroll mode, which allows you to flick the wheel once and it will keep scrolling for a lengthy period of time without any further input from you. This is going to be great for scrolling through a long document, for example. And finally, you can put it in smart scroll mode. So in this mode, you can just scroll down once or twice and it's going to be in tactile mode. And if you go quicker and flick it, it will automatically switch into that free scroll mode. So it gives you the best of both worlds depending on how you intend to use it. The scroll wheel is also capable of left and right scrolling, so this is going to be the most advanced scroll wheel you can find on any gaming mouse today. Now the second big feature of the Basilisk V3 is the button layout. It comes with 11 programmable buttons, which is a lot. You're going to have your main buttons as well as 2 side buttons, which is pretty standard on mice, but you also have a wide array of other buttons that are on the mouse with different features. You have 2 buttons at the top that by default change the scroll wheel mode and the DPI setting, as well as a button at the bottom to switch between profiles that you've saved on the onboard memory. So you can easily switch between the settings that you've saved here or different profiles for gaming or work. And finally, you have what Razer calls the multifunction trigger on the right side here, which is taken straight from the Basilisk Ultimate, which is the most expensive mouse in the Basilisk family. But unlike the Ultimate model, you can't remove this button here. So if you don't like it, then you're stuck with it being there. Now another new feature here is the extended RGB lighting, which not only illuminates the top and the scroll wheel, but Razer has also added a light strip beneath the mouse which directs the light on your table or mousepad. Now this is the first time I've seen this type of lighting, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. You can fully control all the RGB lighting on the Basilisk through the Razer Synapse software, and as always, I think the Razer RGB configuration settings and lighting is the best around. Now in terms of switches, the Basilisk V3 packs Razer's 2nd gen optical switches. So before we talk about these, let's do a little sound test so you can hear how this mouse sounds. Alright, so as you heard, these switches sound amazing. They're snappy and hyper responsive with a blistering response time. Using these switches over the past few days gaming and working has been really satisfying. I played Warzone for a few hours and I was really impressed with the confidence and speed that these switches gave me. And because they're optical, they will last longer than your typical mechanical switch without any input errors or double clicking. Alright, so let's talk about the sensor here. So the Basilisk V3 is packed with Razer's 26K sensor. And as with all new Razer sensors, this works flawlessly. It has excellent tracking qualities and will work very well in FPS games and any other game. You can also calibrate the sensor to your specific mousepad through the Razer Synapse software for maximum integration. Alright, so let's take a look at everyday use and gaming use. For productivity, I think the Basilisk V3 is a really solid option. This is where I really like the ergonomic shape, it's comfortable for work for long hours, and I also really like the scroll wheel here. The Smart Scroll mode really comes into its own as I scroll through long documents and emails, as well as my video timeline while editing. For gaming, I have to say the Razer has done a fantastic job with the features packed in here. You have a lot of buttons to program and the switches and sensors are really super responsive. I personally like the mice with ambidextrous shapes and minimal buttons like the Viper Ultimate or the Logitech Superlight, which is my main mouse. But for those who love right-handed ergonomic shapes and need more buttons, the Basilisk is an absolute treat. I love it especially for FPS games like Warzone. Alright guys, so let's talk about the things that I didn't like about the Basilisk V3. I think I would have made the multifunction trigger a removable option like we see on the Basilisk Ultimate. The way I hold the mouse, I feel like this button gets in my way, but not everyone will notice this. I also noticed that the scroll wheel does wiggle around or have a little bit of play when I swing the mouse or lift it. This is maybe because of the four-way movement that it has, but I think this could have been improved by Razer to make it a bit more solid here. And finally, for me, the mouse is a bit too heavy. I prefer using a very light mouse for gaming, but of course I know that some people would prefer the comfort and features of the Basilisk over weight shedding. But I still think that Razer could have kept all these features but still made it under 100 grams. So overall, I think that the Basilisk V3 still holds the title for the most feature-rich mouse. It still beats out the Logitech G502 in my opinion, because Razer is constantly updating it and bringing more refinement to it. It brings a lot of positives to the table if you like right-handed ergonomic mice, and it's a really nice upgrade over the old Basilisks as well. Alright guys, so that's all for the Basilisk V3. I really enjoyed reviewing this mouse, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like down below, as well as subscribe to the channel with notifications on if you haven't yet, because that's just the best way to support the channel and keep up with the video content. Have an awesome day guys, and I'll see you guys next time.